Hello there, dear YouTubers. My name is King1993, and today I'll be talking about this game and another character within this game. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, obviously, this is going to be a beginner's, intermediate, and even advanced guide. So, the character which I will be talking about today is going to be called Flavia. So, this is basically my review on this character on season 3. Okay, so let's see what happens. So the first thing is she is a PUS member, meaning you will only be having her on the blue team in the escort mission and in the demolition mission. Okay, other than that you can use her in any other places. Now the thing is her weapon is called a submachine gun type. Okay, and because her weapon is a submachine gun, I am seeing a certain problem with submachine gun users. For example, this one and this one. This one did horribly. As a result, I had to lower her ranking here. For example, normally I used to put her in A rank, but now she is below A rank. She is B rank. Like horrible. Like if you plan on using her, you can use her, but the amount of damage you are gonna get out of her is going to be so much low that it begs the question: what happened to all of the uh, submachine gunners? Okay, so let's start. So the first thing that I realized that overall when it comes to the gameplay, I had a gameplay with her. I will eventually show you, but let's look at her overall damage output first. Okay, so when it comes to her overall damage output, this will be a 15-meter distance, and when it comes to her weapon, let's say I select this one and headshot. Okay, and then magazine capacity and recoil handling. Now, why recoil handling? Because recoil handling is actually very good compared to speed control. A speed control is like a last option if you do not have recoil handling. Otherwise, speed control is fine. Okay, so which is why recoil handling I have selected. Now, reload is going to lower the reload rate by 1 second, but the amount of bullets she already carries is very low, 26. So which is why magazine capacity is gonna be very useful for her. Now, rate of fire will basically cause her what should I call it, rate of fire to increase, but not worth it. I suggest that you select this. Okay, and yeah, this is basically it. So let's see what happens. So when it comes to her accuracy is extremely bad. I think this is mostly because many of the submachine gunner user have the same problem. So the amount of recoil that you will be getting out of this character is going to be so high that you might be thinking, okay, but the result doesn't show that. Yes, that is because I was using extreme control on my mouse. If I were to just do a if I were to just do a non control based attack, you will see that the distance between per bullet is extremely high. Okay, so as a result, what does it represent? It represents that it is very difficult to shoot with this character. So the maximum benefit range for this character will be this 15-meter range. Anything beyond this is just going to be wastes of bullets. Okay, so let's say what is the overall damage output going to be if I were to shoot this one, two. Okay, shit, man. Okay, so if I were to talk about the overall damage and accuracy, let's see how good it is. Okay, let's start with this one. So 210 damage, it was a good kill because this is a good range. Okay, now what about this one? Entire magazine is finished. I was still controlling my mouse properly, and yet that enemy is still alive. Somehow I was able to control that one better, but this one survived. So this begs the question: is this character really good or bad, or is it my perspective that is blinding me? Well, if I were to talk about from my perspective on how much control I have, I can say that when it comes to other characters such as Leona, Michelle, and even Nobunaga, they, despite being an assault rifle user, their assault rifle accuracy is way too much high compared to this submachine gunner. So I do not know why that happened. But when it comes to the overall damage output, let's see what is the damage output. The damage output is maximum 651. So when you get such a low amount of overall damage output, obviously you are not never going to be able to get MVP. If you do get MVP, it is going to extremely hard, because I can easily get MVP when I use Nobunaga, Michelle, and even Leona. Maybe not as much as Michelle, but I can definitely get large quantity of MVP with Leona and Nobunaga, because either they have high quantity of bullet or their overall bullet damage output is very high. For example, 15 bullets out of Nobunaga is equivalent to the damage amount of 30 bullets, whereas this girl here has average overall damage output, but her overall bullet capacity is so much high that it basically covers the overall damage output related topic. So in terms of that, this is the exact reason why I had to put them in this ranking here. But because of the overall damage output, I have to put this here, because this is the range where they failed spectacularly. Okay, now remember, I'm not saying you cannot use them. I'm saying the lower the ranking, the more difficult it is to control them. This is what I am saying. This is what my tier list is about. So what is this character's active skill? So the active skill of this character is, when this is activated, if the enemy were to shoot you, you will immediately turn into a ball. Okay, but before you turn into a ball, they must need to hit your HP. So let's say a sniper character were to hit you. What will happen is you will have minimum 1 HP left to survive. So based on that, I can say that this is the only character within the game that is capable of surviving fatal attack. This character has the highest amount of survivability rate. If you were to use this character active and ultimate. Now, what about the passive? Let's talk about the passive. So the passive is, the more attack she takes, the more less damage she takes, and the more attack she takes, the more ultimate recovery she gains. Okay, ultimate point recovery she gains. So it is more like a win-lose situation. The more damage you take, the less HP you will have, the more ultimate you will be able to use. It is very bad combination. Okay, now passive is horrible. That is all I'm saying. Now what about ultimate? So when I use ultimate, okay, let's see what happens. Okay, okay, let's see. No, not this. So what about ultimate? So when I use ultimate, what will happen is, in case if the enemies are inside this barrier, they will be able to see me, but if I were to shoot at them, they will be able to see me. Okay, so if I were to do it again, and as you can see here, that enemy can see me. So how can they not see me? If I were to move back a little, then they will not be able to see me if they don't see me for a short period of time, if I hide for a short period of time. So the question is, what about other thing? Other thing is, if the enemy were to shoot me, then I will basically turn into a ball. Okay, so let's say okay, here it is. Okay, let me use the ultimate again, and let's do this. Okay, so I basically turn into this ball. So when I basically turn into a ball using the active skill, I gain about the same amount of visibility time as I gain the invisibility time using my ultimate. So from that point of perspective, I will say, from my point of perspective, it isn't that much good, because after you hit the enemy will be able to see you. Okay, and that itself is a huge problem. And the second thing is, when I try to use this mode here, obviously I can survive, and using my ultimate I can still survive. Like, if you were to ask me, okay, in demolition match or in escort mission, what would happen if I were to use my active and passive skill at the same, sorry, active and ultimate at the same time? Obviously I will be able to survive longer, but when I do turn into that purple orb, that orb stays active for such a short period of time, it feels like it is not worth it. So that's basically what I'm saying. And to top it all, okay, her overall damage weapon damage output is so much low that I start to wonder why does this happen? Like majority of the time, if any of the player who gets extremely high amount of damage output using this character, not because they are doing it alone, rather they are doing it with the help of other players. So it is actually not that much effective as anyone would think. Okay, so these are basically the stuff. Now let's see what would happen if I were to use this. Okay, so when it comes to armor, you get more armor and more stingified damage, which is good. Now let's activate this one. Okay, so phantom domain duration. Okay, so it will basically give me butterfly duration by 2 plus. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. Okay, 1. Okay, okay. So in case if you're wondering why did my HP recovered, my HP recovered because I am in the training mode. That is why the HP recovered. Normally the HP doesn't recover. So if you read the whole description here, she takes damage and she temporarily turns into a butterfly, summons an orb, and that is basically stops the enemy view. And in this case, what happened was, because I am in the training mode area, as you can see here, this is the training area. I just wanted to see what happened. So let's see, duration time like 9 seconds. Okay, okay, so let that time pass away and let me remove that, and I'll try it again. So it was about 10 seconds. Now let's see how much. 10 seconds. So it is basically saying that my orb mode will become activated for about 2 seconds longer, but I do not feel like it. I do not feel like it. Like I do not feel the actual difference. I do not know why that happens. So in case if you're wondering, is this even working or not? This I tested in event season 2. I do not know whether this is working or not. Okay, so in case if you are doubting yourself if this is even working or not, just go with this one. This one definitely works. Okay, now retribution. What is retribution? Retribution is probably this one. So when you activate this, she will basically take even less damage, so you will have more HP. So this is, her passive is only useful if you use her in the demolition and in the escort mission, but in other matches such as team deathmatch, it is not going to be working. So you need to be careful about that part. Okay, now after all of this is done, the question is, okay, her HP recovered, right? Now I remember why her HP recovered. It's because of this one here. After summoning a phantom orb, Flavia regenerate HP. So this one will automatically give her ability to recover HP over time. Then the question remains is, okay, then why did I suddenly gain all of my HP back? Again, I am saying this is normally not possible. The reason I gained all of my HP back because I am in the training mode. Okay, now I cannot show this, but maybe I can. Let's see. Okay, okay. So let's see what happens was, after activating this, I can turn into a butterfly immediately and go to some other place. Now, obviously, this needs a recovery. So if I were to recover it, it is gonna take about 30 seconds. Okay, so overall time is 3 seconds. Now let's see if I were to increase this, how much longer. It still remains the same as I've already said. This is some sort of jam, like this is not true, this is not real, this, like for some reason this is not working properly. Okay, now the reason I was able to activate directly into my orb mode is because of this awakening skill too. So if you guys are wondering, okay, why was she able to directly turn into this, that is because of this active skill, sorry, awaken skill 2. Because of awaken skill 2, she was immediately able to transform into her orb mode instead of just taking damage. So this is basically useful in escort mission. I would not recommend this in a demolition match, because in demolition match, if you're surprise attacked by a sniper, you would rather want to survive, right? And from that point of perspective, not using this is actually a very good option in demolition match. Okay, so in that way, what will happen is, after you change this and you directly face the sniper, and the sniper for some reason shot back at you, at least you will be able to survive. So from my point of perspective, not using awaken skill 2 is actually a very good idea. Now, what is awaken skill 3? Butterfly armor. So Flavia gains temporary armor equivalent to the percentage of damage dealt by the orb. Okay, so the amount of damage the orb take. Okay, so the orb should be somewhere around here. Okay, it will appear somewhere on the top of your head. So once that orb appears, and if that orb were to take large quantity of damage, then you'll be able to also gain armor. So from my point of perspective, in team deathmatch, and sorry, not team deathmatch, escort mission and demolition mission, this is actually a very good idea to use. Okay, now in case if you're wondering how to use this character in front of the enemy, well, I will show you a gameplay, but first let me give you an example. So let's say you want to hit the enemy, right? So what can you do? You can do two things. You can either use this and then shoot the enemy. In case if the enemy were to shoot you back, you will be able to survive. And let's say you activate this, get shot, and then immediately went back here and then shoot the enemy. So in this way, what will happen is you will be able to shoot the enemy from behind, but obviously from a very short distance. So if I were to use this, something like this, I go behind them and then shoot, hash, dead. But I can do even better. Let's see. The enemy can't see me, and yeah, destroyed. So that's basically how it should be done. But this is not available in team deathmatch. If that was available in team deathmatch, I would definitely use that, but that is not available. So I couldn't feel any type of happiness towards using Flavia. Okay, so this is overall for Flavia. Now in case of grenade, give her any type of grenade, she is not that much good in terms of overall damage output. So maybe you could give her a frag grenade and windstorm grenade, just to survive the overall. Let's say this is the boss. Okay, let's say this is the boss, and if you were to put the windstorm grenade here, it will basically make the enemy fly for a certain period of time, and that is gonna be more than enough to hold the enemy uh, escort bus for a certain period of time. Okay, now let's get out of here and let me show you the gameplay which I have done. So I did multiple gameplay, but I redid the gameplay today again about one time, because after the amount of score which I have gotten got me extremely frustrated. I got 16 kill, this guy got 15 kill. Okay, the score might be lower because I died more times, but what type of damage score is this? This is the score damage point that made me hate Flavia right now. Like, I actually hate using her because of the low amount of damage she is doing. Like, for some reason, every uh, submachine gunner have gotten nerfed for some reason, except maybe for some, I will talk about them in the future. So from that point of perspective, I would definitely put uh, these two here. I would definitely put these two here, because whatever their accuracy is, you can get better. But overall, if the overall damage output is low, then obviously it doesn't matter how much you try to beat your enemy. This is not going to work. Okay, so let me give you a demonstration of the game. Let's see, desktop. So in the desktop, let's say here it is. So let's look at the gameplay. So if we look at the gameplay here, not the warm-up, okay, just the gameplay. So let's see what happens. So when it comes to the gameplay, everything looks fine because I tried my best to do everything possible within the gaming scope. So everything was fine. I activated my active skill and killed the enemy. So everything goes fine. But despite everything going fine, the fact that I was able to do about 3k damage instead of 4k or maybe 5k is definitely an indication that if anyone is using this character, you should be using this character for overall survivability, not overall damage output. It is simply not possible. So for example, directly not this one, the second one, okay, here it is. So what happened was that a guy was able to destroy my health, and because of this reason the orb was created, and this orb blinded the enemy. As a result, my teammate were able to destroy the enemy or kill the enemy. So this is normally she is meant to be used. So overall I got about 15 kills, but the amount of damage that I have gotten out of that 15 kills is so low that I start to doubt myself if I ever want to use Flavia or let's say EVT ever again in the future. Like with more update, I realized that the less I should be using this Flavia or even EVT, because if the amount of damage is that much low, I do not get motivated to even play those things, like play those character. But for some reason, I think I will have a completely different opinion on Mara. For some reason, you will eventually see in the future, because Mara is one of the characters that I have played, and it definitely have given me her. She has definitely given me a strong type of character. Like her overall damage output is not that much high, but her active skill and her overall damage output combined basically creates an effect. It is as though as if she is actually very good. So in case of Mara, that is the only difference, but I'll talk about her in the future. So let's concentrate on this one. So as you can see here, every overall the gameplay is actually very fine. I did very good here. So uh, if I were to say, did I do anything exception? I don't think I did anything exception here. Everything was working fine. Like I always use my active skill in proper places, and then one problem that I have had was during every active skill activation, and then once I turn into an orb, I cannot reload in this orb mode. As a result, I have to directly switch the weapon. This is one of the problem. If I could reload in my orb mode, then I would definitely say it would be better, but that's not happening because I'm just one person talking about this topic here. So unless large quantity of people were to say the same thing, that Flavia should be able to uh, reload her weapon in orb mode, only then I think it would make her a little bit better. I think I blamed her too much, but it doesn't change the fact that her overall weapon damage output is very low, because her active skill and her ultimate are good enough, but her overall weapon damage output is very low, which is why you're not gonna be able to get MVP using this character. Like I have tried not only in this season, season 1, season 2, and even in season 3, and yet the only result that I have gotten is disappointing. There are some matches where some people are good at them, but majority of the time I can say that Flavia is one of those characters that I can basically kill majority of the time, even when the players of those characters are themselves pro players. So let's see how much left. About less than 1 minute. So overall, everything worked properly. I didn't do anything exception. Okay, but the amount of score, damage score, not the overall score, damage score is so low that this is the reason I got angry. Okay, now all of the tactical based topic is done. Now let's talk about the aesthetic. So in terms of aesthetic, she has actually gotten a large quantity of very good quality of costumes. Okay, first of all, this is her normal. Even her normal one is actually very good. You can definitely go for multiple other colors, but those are alternate color is not my favorite. So what is my favorite is, let's look at this one. So I had gotten this one because this one was the only one available. I think I used some sort of currency. I forgot which currency I used, and this is a favorite one of mine. Okay, you can definitely guess why. Because it is shiny and uh, tight skin and definitely many other stuff. This one is basically a goth, G-O-T-H, goth style. Compared to this one and this one, I think both of them fall into my category. Okay, I didn't knew this one was active, but okay, you can definitely get it from there. But let's see. I guess I have three favorite right now. One, two, and three. What about this one? No, actually not that much good looking for me. I think one, two, and three. These three are my favorite at the moment. So when it comes to her weapon skin, let's see. Her weapon skin is good. I think I have gotten this one, but overall, I would say this one looks better. Yeah, this one definitely looks better. Without a doubt, I would definitely get this one if she was better, but she's not better, so I'm not gonna waste my resources on her. This one is also good. Why why her weapon is better than her damage output? I don't. Okay, this one is also good. Whoever designed her really likes her. Okay, not that much. Oh, okay, I would say that my favorite. Okay, so I would definitely say my favorite is one, two, and three. Like these three, they not only look good, their aesthetic matches the entire build. So overall, this is my conclusion. Overall, she is good in terms of her aesthetic, but in terms of performance, not that much. I'm not even gonna say that her active skill, passive skill, ultimate are bad. If I said that at the beginning part of the game, I'm sorry, but her weapon damage output is so low, I would not use her anymore. And any people who wants to use her, you can use her, but I can guarantee you that majority of the time, out of 100, 99% of the time, you are not going to be able to get MVP unless you are playing against bots or new players. Okay, so which is why this is the place where I'll end my topic. So if you like this video, then please give a like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this type of topic on a regular basis. Thank you and see you again next time.